Hey, what's up and welcome back to Motion RC. I'm your product specialist, Wesley, and today we are checking out the ZOHD AR Wing from here at motionrc.com. Now, the ZOHD line of products available here at Motion RC are made for you to use FPV systems in. They're FPV ready right out of the box, and we're going to be checking this one out today. So let's get some stuff pushed off the table. I want to show you, we're going to get our Radtron park ready receiver. So if you're ordering this and you fly Futaba like I do, you could go on and order one of these. They're nice and cheap, work great, and they're small, so they fit in these smaller airplanes. I'm also going to grab my Benchcraft screwdrivers and a couple other Benchcraft items. We're going to get this thing unboxed and let's get it put together. First thing we need to do is get our little airplane out of the box. Now, I'll give you a quick tip here. I went to Lowe's and picked out some of this outdoor carpeting, and I put it out on the table when I'm building a wing or something like this that's not going to fit in a stand. That keeps me from damaging the model as we do it. So as we do this, we're going to just take everything out of the box now and show you how it comes right out of that box. Specifications for the Air Wing. It's made out of high quality EPP, so this is going to be an easy repair if you ever do have a crash, and you can just hot glue this one back together. The wingspan is 1,000 millimeters or 39.37 inches. The length is 450 millimeters or 17.71 inches. The motor is a 2216 1400 kV. The ESC is a 40 amp with a 5 volt 3 amp BEC. Servos are 2 analog Metal Gear 9-gram servos. The airplane also comes with a 2-blade 8x5 propeller. Your recommended LiPo battery is a 4S 3200 to a 3500 milliamp. Alright, first step in the assembly process is going to be to install your motor onto the airplane. Flip your motor over, and on the back side you're going to see 4 holes. You're going to take the motor plate, and it only fits one direction, so if your screw holes don't line up, just turn it 90 degrees, and then they should line up. After you've done that, take your 4 countersunk silver screws, screw your motor plate to the motor. Once you have that done, it's time to fish our 3 ESC wires through the airplane. Then take the 4 Allen key screws, they're a black color, and they're going to screw right into the aluminum mounting points that are already mounted into the airplane. Thread those down to get your motor tight. After that, we need to take our 40 amp ESC, plug our 3 ESC wires on. Now, until we actually fire up the airplane, we won't know if we have these hooked up right or not. Remember, if your motor spins the wrong direction, it's as simple as switching 2 of the wires out on this to make them run the right direction. Then fish all of your wires up into the front section of the airplane, that large compartment. Okay, for this next part, let's decide what kind of FPV system we're going to use. If you want, we actually have the ZOHD FPV systems that are plug and play with this. Literally, you just drop them in, plug them in, and they're gonna work, available here at Motion RC. So if you're gonna use the one I'm using, we need to use the nose that does not hold the FPV camera and attach that in. It just clips in. Then we're gonna take our FPV camera system and we're gonna route our wire into the wing, into the side compartment. Plug that into the JST connector that is already built into the ESC to provide power to it, and then slide your camera down into the airplane. All right, at this point it's time to get our wings assembled on the ZOHD. The way this is gonna work is if you have a servo checker, it's gonna make your life a little easier here. Let's go on and center our 9-gram servos, and then you're gonna be able to put your servo arm onto the servo and pass it up through the wing. Go on and test fit it before you glue. Make sure everything is straight. Once it is, I took a little bit of our free wing glue that comes in like all of our RC airplanes here. So if you have a tube of this, it's great stuff. If not, you can use some hot glue or just some CA. Any kind of glue right here is really gonna work well for you. But glue that servo in at this point. Then we're gonna take and put our servo wire down into the little channel that's provided on the wing and plug it into one of the 2 quick connects. You just need to make sure you use the same quick connect for each wing, either the upper or the lower. After you have that, we're going to take our servo arm that is a carbon servo arm, and from the top of the wing, you're gonna push that down and through. There may be a little bit of resistance. If it hits a little bit of foam, just go on and push that through and get it snapped down. Once you have it down in there, you're gonna take the carbon spar, there's 2 small carbon spars in the kit, and you're gonna pass that through the servo horn and down the channel of the bottom of the wing. You'll see it fits in there just perfectly. Once you have that in, I took a little bit of thin CA and I just ran that down the channel and let that set up. Once you have that all set up and dried, go on and flip your wing upright, and we need to put our ball links on. It's pretty simple. You just go on and put the screw through from the ball link side, and then the nut goes on the other side and tightens up. These are lock nuts, so it should not back off. Then you need to take your control horn and spin it in until it lines up to where your control surface will be flat. And then screw in your other ball link side. Final thing on the wing is to put your wing tips on. I just cut these out using a razor knife. There was a piece joining them together. And then we put the 2 screws in from the outside panel to screw them on. And that gets your wings all assembled. All right, so the next step in our process, now that we have our wings assembled, is to go on and get them slid onto the airplane. So you've got your quick connects. Go on and slide your carbon spar in first that goes all the way through the fuselage. You'll notice there's a little ring on one side that's gonna make it where it goes in and stops at the exact right length that it needs to be in the center of the fuselage. Then take your 2 wing halves and take your time sliding them on. They gotta just line up just right, but when they do, they're very tight and they're gonna go all the way down. Once you get them in, just slide them all the way in and then turn the airplane over, and the 2 thumb screws go in the bottom to fix the wing on. All right, so at this point, it's time to throw our receiver in. It's only got 3 connections on here, so 1 for the throttle, 1 for each of your elevons. And remember, you're gonna need to set this up as an elevon airplane. So if you're using a Futaba radio, just set it to an elevon model. And then after you plug those in, you can see I now have left, right, up, and down. And then I can also check my motor. Remember, we left our prop off. That way we can test this part and make sure it's spinning the right direction, which it is. So at this point, what I want to do real quick before we go any further is a throttle calibration. So let's go on and unplug, full throttle, plug in, stick to 0, throttle calibrated. We do have a whole video on that if you want to know more about that. That gets this airplane pretty close to being ready to fly. So what I need to do now is just clean up my internals, get all of my wires kind of laid out a little nicer, and stick my receiver down. And then we're gonna get the stickers on this thing, and we are almost ready to head out to the field and see if this thing flies, huh? All right, so this gets our assembly of the ZOHD Air Wing Pro all finished up. I went on ahead and put the stickers on it. There's a full sticker sheet that comes with this model. I don't think you need me to show you how to put stickers on. We've been doing this since we were little kids, but yeah, I mean, it really dresses it up nicely. As you can see, it gets the stickers on the top, and then you've got these nice checkered board, kind of like a racetrack style on the bottom that really dress it up nicely. The airplane has lots of compartments. If you're not going to run this exact same FPV system, it has compartments all over it that you can open to put your VTX equipment, your different cameras. You have a different nose option to choose from. Tons of room up inside the battery bay to add other equipment in it. It's a very well thought out wing. You also have a back compartment where the GPS antennas can go if you're running a GPS signal on this. I mean, tons of room in this wing to make your life easy to go out and fly FPV. Well, guys, if you decided to check one of these out, don't forget they're here at motionrc.com. If you get one of these and you film yourself flying it, or maybe you're going and flying it in the backyard and you're filming your footage, make sure you share it over on the Motion RC Facebook community page. It's always fun to see you guys over there hanging out and discussing stuff with other pilots. And until next time, whether it's land, sea, or air, Motion RC has everything you want in the RC industry. We'll see y'all in the next video. Bye, guys.